when did you first start? Because I know your dad is a legend and you came into the sport early, but were you like rolling at age 1 and stuff? Like how did it, or was it introduced a little bit later for you?
Kind of. I was always in the gym as a kid, so I started wrestling at like 5, 6 years old, and doing jujitsu probably like 8 or 9. I had my first amateur fight before amateur was even around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I think 11,
Nice.
like 11 or
Wow.
something,
Wow.
and it wasn't even amateur. Like we went to another gym, lined all the kids up, and like you guys are the same size, we'll match you up, and like
Yeah.
that's how we did it. And then when I was probably about 16 or 15, the amateur league came into play here in California. And if you were under 18, you couldn't punch to the head. So I did one fight like that, and I was like, this shit sucks. I was like, Dad, I'm not doing this. We'll go back to fighting in backyards and stuff, you know? So the week after my 18th birthday, I had my amateur fight, my first amateur fight. My dad put on a show, and he just wanted to see what I had. And yeah, I went out there, suplexed the dude on his head, just had an awesome fight. He's like, all right, you got a little potential, you know? And after that, it was full force. I went to college for a year, half a year, and was like, yeah, this isn't for me. I wrestled at Notre Dame in Cleveland and was like, yeah. Screw this. So I flew home, went to JC for a year, won a state title there. I was going to try to beat my dad's record. He was 2 years undefeated, like 60 or 70-0. And I lost one match that year, so I was like, all right, screw college wrestling. Yeah. And dropped out, and then it was just full force fighting. And I did probably like eight to 12 fights, amateur. Lost one amateur. I got knocked. My dad, I remember the first thing my dad told me, he's like, don't go out there throw a lead leg head kick. So like, I'm thinking like no lead leg head kick, but obviously it's the first thing I see because it's on my mind. Yeah. And I threw it, spun around, dude, cracked me with the right hand. I sat down, and I just hear the crowd go, oh. And I remember I was like, boom, I got hit again, and I just woke up, and I saw 4 legs in front of me. I was like, 2 in the middle. Oh, no. It was one of his, one of the rest, and they were stopping it. So,
yeah. Damn.
So you started with the wrestling, and then you also trained with boxing and jiu-jitsu, right? Like when did that kind of come in, and when did you learn the alternative methods?
I don't know. I kind of just started doing MMA before anything, you know. I get in trouble at school, couldn't go to school, suspended obviously sometimes. And
for fighting?
Sometimes. Sometimes. I was just a little troublemaker, dude. Yeah. Like I love to talk. I couldn't sit still. If you notice, like I haven't sat still, I'm like twisting in the chair. Yeah. I'm always doing something. So in school, it was the same thing. And, you know, I got in a few fights here and there. I was always a little kid. It was like 98 pounds until my junior year of high school, like tiny. And people just challenged me, but I don't care how big you were. I'm down to fight. You know what I mean? If it's a fight, let's do it. Yeah. And I would get in trouble. So I would just be at the gym training with all the guys, you know. They had a night class for like the AMI guys mixed in with a few pros. And I'd just be in there training with them, you know, just always in the gym. I kind of love, obviously, boxing and fighting, but kicking's like my thing. That's like my passion, you know what I mean? You can keep people away. You can pick them apart with kicks. So,
was it the Macapa fight where it was like, I think you threw a head kick and then you were on the ground, but then you literally just come right back up and knock them out?
Yeah, I threw a kick and then something happened. I came up, threw an elbow. Most people didn't even see the elbow. The elbow was like so faint. It was like an elbow, and then he threw a overhand. I blocked it, came back, and then hit him with the left.
And he was
out. He felt like a sack of potatoes.
That's crazy.
I watched it in slow mo, and like I didn't turn the punch over until after it was through his chin, and I was like, damn, what if that caught him on the end? You know what I mean? Like it was just different. Some of my fights, I don't know. I'm just so dialed in on some of them that it's like I analyze everything. You know, fighting is an art, so it's like you really got to be able to analyze everything your opponent's doing, the way they're breathing, the way they're stepping, if they're on their toes, their heels, how they're looking, what they're looking at. Like you got to literally monitor everything. And some of my best fights are when I do that. You know, my 8-second knockout, I broke that entire fight down before it even happened.
Was that the Brian Karakanya?
Yeah, Georgie Kakari.
George Karakanya.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, is that like, you say you broke down the whole fight before it even happened. Is that just studying that guy beforehand, or even just when he walks in the room and how he's holding himself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just how he's holding himself. Like we're in the cage, and before the fight starts, I see him jumping around. He's looking around. Then next thing you know, he comes out southpaw. I'm like, okay, why is he southpaw? He's an orthodox fighter. So, all right, I'm going to throw a jab, see what he does. He switches back. Oh, he's uncomfortable. So he's trying to throw me off by switching his stance. So I back off, throw another jab. I know what he's going to do already. He's into the same thing he just did, which is step back. Oh, just throw overhand right over the top. Boom. He goes down. Okay, now get on him. Boom, boom, boom. And it's like, that's a matter of 8 seconds. But for me, it felt like it was a minute.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I'm assessing everything that's going on. I'm watching his breathing, what he's doing, where he's looking around, just everything. So it's pretty crazy when you can dial in like that.
It's crazy too, because you're definitely known for speed, right? So like to say 8 seconds felt like a minute. It's like you're slowing down time, right? You're like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Does it ever feel like it's moving in slow mo for you when you're there?
Sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes when there's certain fights I'm just dialed in so fire that it's like everything is just lined up for that moment. You know what I mean? You don't hear the crowds, you don't see the ref, you don't even see the cage. You're like dialed in, you know what I mean? And that's kind of the crazy part. But when it's like that, you're unstoppable.
It's like that Sherlock Holmes, like Guy Ritchie movie. I'm a total film nerd, so I'll relate everything back to the movie.
Sick,
but yeah, it's like they slow everything down, and he's like, but like you said, they calculate every little thing that goes into like every step or punch or anything. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I really like how they do that with the Sherlock Holmes thing, because he's like, left hook to the rib cage, debilitate his breathing, right? Like hit him in the neck,
seen
like,
that
stuff like that.
Yeah,
you know?
That was a good one.
But it's just being like analytical and being able to break it down. But man, it's sick, dude. Like, it takes a lot of balls to step in the ring. I already know that, and then to be able to be dialed and have that mindset going into it, like, a lot of respect for you, bro.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's part of me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know what else I'd be doing in life if I wasn't fighting for real. But yeah, it's a lifestyle, man. I'm in the gym 6 days out of the week. You know, I don't want to be there sometimes, but I'm still there.
Yeah.
You just go. You know, sometimes when I don't want to go, I end up having the best day. So it's like that's what really made me take it full force and just always in there. But obviously, getting older, the body starts to wither away. So you got to train smarter, not harder.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to drop a like if you enjoyed the video.
And subscribe and hit the bell for a whole lot more to come.